Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to High Button Sports. And today we're here at the Rath Eastlink Community Center in Truro, the home opener for the Under-15 major Truro Bearcats, as they host one of their biggest rivals, provincial champ WearWell Bombers. Bearcats have played a couple of games out in Spring Hill, but this is their first meeting at the Millbrook First Nation Arena here at the Rec. They're 2-5 to start the year. The WearWell Bombers, fresh off that provincial title, they haven't lost too much steam. They're 6-1-1 to start the season, led by some returnees, as it's sent in by one of those returnees, Connor Grace, as he gets things started here for the Bombers. Chipped up ahead, Scott will give chase. Grace first on it. Played as a first year last year on this WearWell team. 8 goals and 8 assists to start the season. One of the leading scorers as a league, and he comes from the blue line. Speaking of leading scorers, there's a shot off the stick of Cohen Little. Big hit there by the Truro captain, Lincoln McDonald, going into his second year with the club. Little gets it back. Speaking of leading scorers, as I was mentioning, he leads the whole league right now. 16 goals and 8 assists in 8 games played. Not too good at math, but that adds up to 2 goals per game that Little averages so far early on in the season. Here's Lincoln McDonald. He'll dump it in. Head off on a change as the Bearcats get fresh troops on the ice. McDonald rims it around the zone. Takes a funny hop off the end wall. Comes loose in front. Hudson Miller has a step. Little, good back check, and it's covered up by the starting netminder for the Bombers, Mason Gunn. Gunn getting the start for the Bombers. A new goaltending tandem for the team out of Pictou County. Gunn alongside Sean Gillis. At the other end, it'll be Chase Grandy, the second year, getting the start for the Bearcats. Chipped up ahead. Ryan Ross will give chase. Converged in on by his counterpart, number 4. That's McEachern. Back to get it. Whittemore, he'll just send it up the wall. Comes out to center off the skate of McEachern, chopped ahead by Lex McKenzie, another one of the Bearcat returnees. Tough season last year for the Bearcats, only had 3 second-year players. But as they try to get things going, a bit of a slow start, but a lot of returnees and a couple exciting rookies to look for on this Bearcat club as they look to get things going. Sent to the far side, picked up by Lex McKenzie. He'll wait for his teammates to get a change. Almost turned over, but took a good bounce. As Stanfield gets caught and knocked to the ice. Big hit there from McIntosh. Battle down low. Ripley down there, as well as Reed Reynolds, a couple of Cumberland County boys, first years on this Bearcat team. Both Colchester and Cumberland County represented on this Truro team, as is the case in U15. Chipped out by Bowen McNutt. It's picked up by the Bombers. D-to-D pass. Here's Brett Cormier. Good pass through the middle. Reed will knife it ahead. McNutt will take a look behind him and rim it around to the near side. Mason Holman hits his foot. McIntosh caught him off guard, and it's pulled free as Holman gets it back. He takes a bump from a pair of Bombers as they battle for it right to the left of the penalty box. Connor Grace back to collect. Had that stat wrong. 8 goals and 10 assists for Grace in 8 games, so averaging over 2 points a game as a defenseman is not bad in this league. Grace has the puck now, coming up the far side. Try to weave his way in. He's worked over by Truro assistant captain Seth Lockyer. The defender had a solid season in his rookie campaign last year with this Bearcat club. Pulled free, chipped to the front of the net by Isaac Swain. Bearcats get it out and tip it in. Isaac Swain wearing number 5, and I'm not 100% sure, but I think that there's a relation to WearWell Bombers Eli Swain, one of the leading scorers last season. He wore number 5 as well, now playing with the Weeks Under 18 majors as it's swatted out by the Bombers. No icing on the play. Lex McKenzie will try to swing it well up ice and catch the Bombers on a change. It's tipped in by Lincoln McDonald. Check on the far side, pulled free by Clough. McEachern calling for it on the far side, didn't get the pass, but he'll collect and send it through center now. Frizzle. Rink wide. Pass didn't hit. It's intended target, he gets it back. Miller tried to center it, it comes free. Long pass ahead, here's Ryan Ross, has some room down the right side. Ross, centering pass, is looking in front for Jackson McDonald, another one of these second-year players on the Bombers. Good stick in front by Lex McKenzie to swat it away. Whittemore spins and fires one. That's knocked away by Clough. Frizzle will turn and fire it down deep as the Bearcats get changes here. Pulled out by McDaniel. He'll rush down the right side, rim it all the way around. Knifed ahead. Ripley will send it out. Icing waved off on the play as Cormier will collect behind the net. Brett Cormier back behind the net. Matatal sends it back to Cormier. A couple signals get crossed and the Bearcats will cycle it back down low. McIntosh through the middle, doesn't find its man, but Reed will give chase. He'll dump it in deep. It's a delayed offside though. The Bombers will be forced to tag up as Frazier was in ahead of the play. Sent in deep by Ripley. The Bearcats will change up. Gunn was thinking about playing it, but Reed Reynolds came in. And I think he's going to get a penalty here as he took a late whack at the goalie. And with 9:20 left to go here in this first period, the Bombers are going to get the game's first power play. Underway, cleared to the line but not out. Grace hands it off for Cormier. Rink wide pass for Cohen Little. Grace back to Little, has some room on the right side. Shot punched aside by Grandy. Grace gets it at the line over to Little. Into the middle, Jackson McDonald, curl and drag. Converged on by two Bearcats, a rebound by Little, and a good pad save is made by Grandy. Cormier curls back, goes D to D. He'll get the return feed, but it hopped through his legs. Sidney Scott will give chase. 40 seconds gone in the penalty to Reynolds. Little, rink wide. Cormier will give chase. He has the puck now. Rink wide. Little shoots. Good save made by Grandy, and it's swatted to the line, but not out. Grace. Back to Little. Little cuts to the middle. That might have hit his man in front. As Bowden felt that one. As he was net front on the power play, and the Bearcats are able to clear. Under a minute to go in the WearWell Bombers power play. Grace ahead. Here's Little. Drops it back to Grace. Looks like this unit will take the whole 2 minutes. Cormier looking for some open space. He'll hand it off for Grace. Grace rink wide looking for Little. Gets him playing a bit up on that right point. Grace, his shot, rebounds there. Jackson McDonald couldn't get enough on it. A little more reach he needed to get a clean shot. Smothered by Grandy. With 28 seconds left in the penalty. McKenzie spins. He'll fire it down the length of the ice. Off the draw. One more chance up ice here for the Bombers on the man advantage. Sent up ahead, McIntosh will one-touch it back to Whittemore. Sends it back to McIntosh. Ripley will give chase. And he'll swing that around the wall. That should pretty much do it for the penalty to Reynolds. McDaniel goes behind his net to Whittemore. He'll start out. So Reynolds comes out of the box. We're back to 5 aside. Whittemore works his way through. Lockyer. Hand it over to Peter Merriweather. Up the wall, turned over. McIntosh Shot hits the stick of Merriweather. Ross spins off a check, will rim it around the wall. McIntosh gets it back, sends it back to the right point to Whittemore. Takes the return feed. McIntosh some room off the right side. That's blocked by Merriweather. Chopped ahead, and Clough now has a step if he hurries. Jacob Clough. Whittemore staying with him. Good play by Whittemore to keep him to the outside. Clough looked like he wanted to drop the shoulder and drive the net. Whittemore not giving him any room to make that maneuver towards the middle. Kenzie goes D-to-D Lockyer, but just offside as Clough didn't retreat past the blue. Under 6.5 to go in this first period, still awaiting the game's first goal. As the face-off comes just outside the WearWell blue line. Pulled free by the Bombers off the draw. D-to-D pass, Cormier. Drop back, he's being worked over by Frizzle. He'll rim it around to Matatal up ahead. McEachran didn't keep the line. Another offside against the Bearcats. Face-off comes right back outside the blue line in front of the penalty box. Ripley will try to push it ahead. Tries to knife through his man, but it's picked up here by Woolley. Goes around the net ahead to Bowden. Kenzie will fire it right in front of the penalty box, picked up by Ripley. Dumped in as Truro gives chase. Reed Reynolds. Couldn't find it, but the Bombers able to get it out. Chipped in by Woolley. Stick by Lex McKenzie. He'll get it out to center. It's going to be a hand pass called on the play. So it was Elijah Little trying to catch it, but he caught a piece of it and dropped down in front of the other Bomber defender. It'll be whistled down for the hand pass on the play. Face-off will come just in front of the Bomber bench. Face-off done unfairly, so we'll do it again. One back cleanly by Scott. McNutt ahead. Was over the red line, so no icing on the play as Lincoln McDonald takes a bump from Connor Grace. Those two well versed with each other, playing against each other last year as well with these two teams. Donald swats at it, couldn't find it. Back the other way, an odd man rush. The other way, here's Jackson McDonald, but it's blown down on the offside. It's a pass at the line, just put McDonald offside. And a big chance there nullified for the Bombers. Lockyer D-to-D to Merriweather. Goes up the boards. That'll go all the way down the ice. Icing waved off. No. Will be an icing. Thought I'd have enough on it. Grandy's going to come out of his net and direct some traffic here for the defensive zone draw. Bombers coming to this game in 4th place at 6-1-1. The Bearcats 9th at 2-5. Gulls at the top of the standings. The Novas and Rangers right there as well as the Bombers looking to go back-to-back. McDonald, his shot. Chest save is made by Grandy. McDonald curls into the middle, pass it off. Here's Connor Grace. His shot. Scores! Connor Grace puts one right between the blocker and pad of Chase Grandy, and he'll open the scoring here. 9th of the year already for the defenseman. The Bombers draw first blood. Grandy got a piece, but not enough. Good offensive zone draw for the Bombers, and it leads to a goal. Dumped in by Truro. They'll give chase. Clow. Whittemore takes a peek behind him and chips it ahead. Back to the point, Frizzle. McEachran, his shot through traffic, looking for the tip. Puck comes free. Daniel ran into his man. Puck comes loose. Sent up the wall. Swain bumps his man, but the Bearcats keep it in. Pass out front. Swain stays with it. Chopped away. So nobody can find the bouncing puck right now. It's finally swatted out by the Bombers. Here's Ryan Ross. Has some speed down the left side. Ross weaves his way and goes to the forehand. Grandy got a piece of it. Chipped ahead. Kept in momentarily by the Bombers as Hudson Miller will deflect it ahead. The second chance, Clow gets it out of harm's way, and the Bearcats will make a quick change. Matatal. Long pass up ahead. Ross will deflect it in. Picked up by Rowan McEachran. He'll go D to D. McKenzie trying to work it out. The second chance, he does get it. Sent back in deep by Frazier. Behind the net, McEachran. That bounces. Goes right to Grace. D to D pass. Cormier goes back to Grace. Has some speed through the neutral zone. Connor Grace, he opened the scoring. He stays with it. Tries to cut to the middle, but a good play by McKenzie. Penalty upcoming as Reynolds got his feet taken out from under him. It is going to be the aforementioned Grace going off for tripping. So with 3:08 to go here in this first period, the Bearcats will get their first power play of the afternoon. McDonald, Clow, Holman, Scott, and Lockyer out here for Truro. Got to win the face-off. The Bearcats do, but McDonald swatted it right between his two defenders. The Bearcats will have to set up the breakout in their own end. Lockyer weaves ahead, knocked off stride by Bowden. Holman able to double back and support his defenseman. Pulled free, Cormier. He'll send it down the ice. Good kill so far from the Bombers with 30 seconds gone. Cohen Little hard in on the forecheck, trying to weave his way through, has three Bearcats with him. They'll have to retreat in their own end. Bombers not giving Truro any room to set up a breakout here. Cohen Little in on the attack the whole time. Here's Lincoln McDonald, weaves his way through. Curl and drag shot. Caught a piece of the glove of Gunn. Bearcats keep it in. Pass across, McDonald has it, shoots! Good glove save by Gunn. Lincoln McDonald, one of the top 2011 borns in the league last season as a first year. He's up towards the top of the team in scoring. He leads the team in scoring this year. Wore an A last year as a first-year player, which goes to show his character. Scott in off the line, shot, saved once again by Gunn. Of course, Lincoln McDonald now wearing the C this year for the Bearcats. Another Cumberland County product. Between the second years on these two teams next year, and even with WearWell as well as Truro, they have a lot to choose from for the week's majors next year. Bearcats still on a power play. Lockyer over to McDonald, hopped on him. Reynolds trying to pinch ahead, good stick from Whittemore. He'll send it up the wall. Lockyer unable to keep it in. Jackson McDonald giving chase. Lockyer weaves into the middle, still has it. Seth Lockyer, his shot misses wide on the glove side of Gunn, the southpaw. Right-handed glove, and it's cleared back down the ice by the Bombers once again. Minute and a half left to go in this first period. 15 seconds left in the penalty, so one last breakout chance here for the Bearcats. As McDonald gives chase. Clow, it bounced on him, pulled free by Little, so that'll pretty much do it for the power play, but it's chipped back into the Bomber zone. Reynolds cycles it down low. Nobody was there as McDonald was curling off to the bench as we get to the last minute of play in the period. Good stick lift, pulled free in the shot. Wide of the goal by Miller. Frizzle sends it down deep as he took a bump. Wadden pinched off the line, made one good hold, but now it's a 2-on-1 back the other way. Jackson McDonald tried to pass it through to McIntosh. Now a penalty upcoming to McIntosh as he bumped his man, McKenzie, before he got the puck, so it's going to be an interference call, and the Bearcats will go right back to the power play. .34 seconds left in this first period. Face-off will come to the left of Gunn. Toss up off the draw. Reynolds. Poked away from him by Cormier. Is Cormier content just to keep it down this corner? He'll bully his way through. Couldn't clear. Ripley tried to set up momentarily. Rink-wide pass. Merriweather has 10 seconds left in the period. Down low. Cross-ice pass, looking for McKenzie, turned over. Ross will take it ahead himself, and he'll send it down the length of the ice, and that'll do it for the first period of play. Goal from Connor Grace, the lone tally of the first frame. Bearcats will have minute 26 left of power play time heading in to this second period. Right back into the action and ready to go here for the second period. Bearcats will get their first unit back on the ice. Cohen Little lines up against Clow, and we're back underway. Pulled free, Bowden. Chips it ahead, and he'll give chase. Bowden, pass to the middle. Little settles it down. Save is made by Grandy. Good shorthanded chance there for the Bombers. Chip down low, Bowden. Sends it to the middle, looking for Cohen Little. Lockyer up the wall is Little. Very aggressive, as he has been on the PK all day. Gunn will chip it off for Grace. He'll have enough time to try to spin it ahead. Good play by Lincoln McDonald. Settles it down. No high stick on the play, and he scores! Power play goal for Lincoln McDonald. The Bearcats have tied it. Just kept it under the shoulder, and I think that's what Connor Grace was saying to the official, and the official made the motion of where the stick was when he batted it down. Some great hand-eye from the Bearcat captain, and it pays dividends as he gets the home side on the board. Icing called against Truro, so we're back to five-a-side now. Face-off will come back to the left of Chase Grandy. Ross lines up against Reynolds. Looked like Ross was trying to win it forward, but Reynolds caught it. He picks it up. He'll pass it across to Cameron Ripley. He'll dump it down deep, give chase. Matatal first on it. He'll go behind the net to his D partner, Cormier. Cormier will weave ahead by himself. Brett Cormier has it. Stays with it. Tried to center it to Jackson McDonald. Hit a skate. Chopped ahead, Ripley. Ahead, Reynolds trying to find it in front of the bench. Pulled out by Jackson McDonald. Cormier. Pass it ahead. Tipped in to the Truro zone by Ross. McEachran will send it ahead to Ripley. He takes a bump. Couldn't find it in his skates. Here's Ross. Ross weaves his way. A nice move. Trying to chip it over the shoulder of Grandy. Didn't get it high enough, but it's a good shot on goal nonetheless. An offensive zone draw here for the Bombers. Whittemore, his shot kicked away by Grandy as the Bombers able to get the shot off the draw. Chipped ahead. Bearcats will give chase. Frizzle knocked off stride by Whittemore. That allows McDaniel to pick it up. Wadden will chip in off the point. Stay with it. Frizzle. Brings it around the wall. McNutt will chip in off the blue line. It's cycled down low. Frizzle. Trying to poke it free. Pulled loose. Clow. Back down to Frizzle. Frizzle. Cycles it back down low. Miller. Out to Clow. His shot from a sharp angle. Hit the outside of the net. Whittemore ahead to Reed. Reed. Off the wall. Wadden. Stays with it, but he's unable to hold the blue. Pulled free. Nobody can find it. As usual here at the Rec, a lot of puck bounces. And odd bounces here at this arena. Long pass ahead. Bowden. Tip it in. So Bombers look to make some changes. Merriweather to Lockyer. Lockyer will rim it around the wall. Holman. Back to Merriweather. Merriweather tried to go off the boards and out, but it's kept in by Grace. Holman stays with it. Turned over Little. Trying to release quickly. Couldn't. Good pass by Swain. Shot by Little. Good save made by Grandy. What a pass by Isaac Swain. Behind his back. Scott. Head pinching off the line of the Bombers. They stay with it. Little shot blocked by Merriweather. McDonald weaves his way in and puts it up and over the net. Merriweather felt that one on the hand. Odd bounce off the stanchion. Comes right to McDonald. Save made once again by Grandy. .16:33 left to go here in the second period. Power play goal early on from Lincoln McDonald ties this one up at 1. Pulled free. Here's Ripley. Cuts to the middle. Takes a hard hit by McIntosh, but he's able to get it in deep. Cormier will pick it up. Back to Matatal. We'll wait and rim it around the wall. Woolley chips it into the middle. Picked up by McKenzie. Swatted right back in by Eli Woolley. Left behind the net for McKenzie. McKenzie up the wall. Didn't hit its intended target. Matatal will go D to D with Cormier. Back to Matatal. Long pass ahead. That's tipped by Woolley. He'll give chase, as does Rowan McEachran. McEachran will find it and rim it around the wall. Pass to the middle for Frizzle. Frizzle. Has Ripley with him. He'll take it himself. Frizzle shoots and scores! What a shot by Jacob Frizzle. As he cuts down the near side and puts it upstairs on Gunn, and the Bearcats have the lead. Had Reynolds go into the net. That took away a bit of room from the defender as he was playing more towards the middle. That allowed Jacob Frizzle to pick the top corner up and over the shoulder on the blocker side. The former Pee Wee AAA, under 13 AAA Bearcat gives the Bearcats the lead, and he has the puck now once again. Sends it in, missed the net, comes back to the point. McNutt, his shot. Paddled aside. Good hold at the line by Wadden. Sent it in the middle. Here's Frizzle again. Good stick from Bowden. Frizzle stays with it, try to chop it down low. Picked up by McDaniel. Daniel stops up. Puts it down low. Here's Reed in front. Picked up Frazier. Drags it into the middle. Save made on the rebound attempt from Bowden, and Grandy will cover up. That one was tough to read because you think you have a hard shot coming in there from the right face-off circle, but it's slowed down by Bowden, and then he sends a soft one towards the net. You can see Grandy already going post to post to that right side. He was able to stay with it. Back to point, Grace. He has the lone goal for the Bombers so far in this one. Here's Swain, hands it off, Cohen Little. Nice toe drag move, but a good play by Scott. Come in from the middle. McDonald, pass it off, was looking for Grace, who had pinched it off line. Grace now does get it back. Circle it back, sends it to the middle, but right on the stick of Lincoln McDonald back the other way. McDonald, nice inside out move, put it too far ahead of him. Gunn able to poke it off. Took some contact from McDonald, but was able to stay with it. Now here's Grace, drops it for Little. Little into the middle. McDonald, shot, tried to go low on the short side, missed. Hand pass called on Cohen Little, and the face-off will come outside. Face-off just outside the Truro blue line now. Reynolds in to take the draw against Ross. Pulled free by the Bombers. Cormier ahead. McKenzie will pinch up. Gains the red line and will dump it in cross corner. Matatal behind the net. Turned over. Rimmed around the wall. McCackern will give chase. He's angled off into the boards. Picked up by Ross. Ross takes a bump from Reynolds, but stays with it. Ryan Ross looking to go end-to-end. McKenzie stays with it. Ross gets it back to the point. Cormier, his shot from the point. That's deflected, couldn't find it. Rebounds there, and they score. Eli Woolley on the doorstep. The Bombers tie it back up. Point shot came in from Cormier, was deflected in front. Dropped right in front of Grandy. He couldn't find it, and Woolley was on the doorstep. He was able to bank it through the 5-hole. The Truro goaltender. Bombers tie this one up 2-2. They also lead in the shot department 12-6. Chipped ahead, Clough. Lost it to McDaniel. Bombers back the other way. It's picked up by Wadden. Grandy will come out of his net and jump on it. Frazier comes up the line in across from Clough. The drop out and sends one towards the net, and he scores! Ty Bowden right off the draw. It just squeaked through. Just had enough on it to get through Grandy and over the line, and just like that, two quick ones give the Bombers the lead back. Come the Bombers again. Chop back out to center. Frizzle. Stepped up by Whittemore. Frizzle finds it. He'll drive wide. Odd man rush the other way. Picked up. Shot. Fanned on by Clough. He was in on a clear 2-on-0. On the point, Merriweather wires one. Pad save is made by Gunn. Back the other way. 4-on-2 if they hurry. Reed. Pass through the middle looking for Bowden going towards the front of the net. Grace gets it at the line. He'll stutter step. Trying to cut out to the middle. Picked up by Bowen McNutt. Sends it behind the net for Lockyer. Chipped ahead, but that's going to be an icing call against Truro. 12:21 left in the second period. Bombers with 2 quick ones to retake the lead. It's 3-2. Little wins it right back to Cormier. Settles it down, gets by Miller and stays with it. Stop and start, work it down low, trying to use that frame. Good play by Lockyer to stay with it. Shot from Little, looking for the tip in front. McDonald came out of the corner. Swain was there as well. It's cleared out the other way. McDonald gives chase. He'll be worked over by Cohen. Little takes a spill, but he's able to knock the puck away. Up the wall, here's Cormier. Has some speed, 4 wide. Cormier settles it down, rink wide pass, settled down, shots there, rebound, they score. Jackson McDonald on the doorstep, gets the rebound. Bombers have doubled it up, now 4-2 with 3 quick ones unanswered. Bearcats win the draw. Lockyer chipped ahead, 1 touch pass ahead. Reynolds will give chase. It's in McDaniel's feet, but he stays with it. Merriweather up the wall, hits a skate. Picked up by Ross. Ross curls back. He's pinned to the wall by Merriweather. Puck still free. Woolley looks behind him, sends it back to point. McDaniel cuts to the middle, nice move. Pass it off for Whittemore. Whittemore, his shot, that's deflected by Ross. Goes into the far side corner. McIntosh. More pressure here from the Bombers. McIntosh. Moves it momentarily to Ripley, then Ripley got knocked down hard. Penalty upcoming. Ripley caught a piece up high. The officials are going to check as Ripley's still down. Woolley will go off. We'll be back momentarily as Reed Reynolds gets attended to here. Took a hit. He went down hard, kind of snapped the neck back. But he's down there, he's moving, which is a good sign. He's going to slowly make his way back up, which is good to see. You can see he's favoring his head, but he'll come off under his own power. I think Eli Woolley's going to get the gate here. His afternoon will be done. Bearcats will go to the power play here. It's going to be a 5-minute major for Eli Woolley, I assume for head contact. We'll wait to hear the call. It's going to be Austin Reed who goes over and serves it. Officials are going to confer over once again. Face-off will come back down. Inside the Bomber zone. All the best to Reed Reynolds, and he's going to go to the room and get checked out. Find out his status as the game progresses. Lockyer will skate it out. He'll try to weave his way through. He takes a bump from Grace. Holman shot from a sharp angle, stays with it. Bearcats will look to set up. Back McDonald. Trying to settle it down for Lockyer. Donald has it. Curls back. Rink wide. Scott mans a point on the power play. Will go up top. Lockyer. Shot through traffic. Squared up and saved by Mason Gunn. Just one of those awkward plays that you don't like to see. It's tough. Where Woolley comes to the boards. It was more of an open ice hit, not against the boards, but the size difference, especially for a U15 kid, it makes it such a tough way to judge where the initial contact was. So it's chipped out by the Bombers. Nonetheless, Eli Woolley's afternoon is done. The Bearcats will have a 5-minute power play, already a minute gone in it. So they look to break it out. Rink-wide pass turned over by Jackson Reynolds. Jackson McDonald will weave his way in. Picked up by McDonald, and he'll leave it back behind the net for Lockyer as the Bearcats try to set up their breakout, which they've had trouble doing as the Bombers play such an aggressive style in the offensive zone, and they're able to force another turnover there. Sent to the blue line. Holman. His pass hit the skate and comes out, picked up by Cormier. He'll send it right back down. Scott leaves it for Lockyer. Lockyer chips it ahead to Scott. Bombers were able to get new penalty killers on the ice. It's dumped in. Cole will give chase. Picked up by McDonald. Back to the point. Lockyer walks the line. His shot blocked by Ross. Ross has had an excellent game so far this afternoon on both sides of the puck. Here's Lockyer in. Shot looking top corner. Shoulder save is made by Gunn, and the Bombers able to clear it down the ice. Almost halfway through the 5-minute major. Holman. Almost stripped of the puck, but McDonald weaves his way up ice. The Truro captain. Nice move. Stays with it. Lincoln McDonald still with it. See, weaves around the outside. Sends it back to the point. McKenzie. E. Merriweather. Trying to toe drag his way past. Little steals it, and he's able to knife it out to center. Here's Cormier. Cormier in. Shoots. Punched aside by Grandy. Chipped over by Merriweather, but it's turned over. But Cormier in. Shoots off the outside of the net. Some prime penalty killing here by the Bombers. Long stretch pass picked off at the red line by Grace, and he'll skate it in himself. Under 2 minutes to go in the penalty. Grace cuts to the middle. Shot blocked by McKenzie. Power kill here so far for the Bombers. McKenzie reverses it behind the net to Merriweather. And Cohen Little, he'll just keep giving chase. Merriweather back to McKenzie. Little right back in. It comes out in front. Grandy is just not going to take any chances here. And he just covers up. 1:19 left to go in the 5-minute major. Jackson McDonald will line up. Cross from McDonald. Picked up McNutt. Head. Pass by Stanfield. Hit a skate. Redirected behind the net to McEachern. McEachern. Pass through the middle. Doesn't find anyone. It's chopped back in by the Bombers. Bearcats just unable to get out of their zone right now even. Finally do. Here's Sidney Scott. Cuts in. Scott still with it. Passes it off to McDonald. Back down low. Scott. Grace watching over him as he barrels him into the end wall. And he'll send it down the length of the ice. Sent to the middle. McDonald. He's going to try to work wide on Grace. Hands it off. Here's Scott. Into the middle. Shoots. Well, wide of the goal. Back down low, McDonald chips it behind the net. Grace first on it. He'll send it out to the blue line. Picked up by McDonald. Took a funny hop off Wad, and McDonald trying to drive inside. Good stick from McKenzie. Punch it to the far corner. Rim back around for Wad, and 10 seconds left. And the Bombers are going to come out of this 5-minute major unscathed. So we're back to 5-a-side. Pass through the middle. Holman. Rush across. Mason Holman. His shot save made by Gunn. Holman stays with it. Leaves it for Clough. Clough. Pass back door. Looking for McKenzie, who pinched in off the left point. Just past his outstretched stick. Here's Ross. Gains the red line. That caught the ref in the helmet. This communication behind the net. Out front. Grandy was trying to leave it. Holman to the line, but not out. Cormier. Shot. Save is made by Grandy. So McKenzie was able to box his man out. McKenzie's going to go to the box as he gave a chop to his man in front. It's going to be a 4-minute spearing penalty here. Double minor for spearing against Lex McKenzie right after the Bombers kill off the 5-minute major. They'll head to the power play. 5:14 left in this second period. Knut around the wall. Merriweather gives chase, and he'll get it down the ice. Grace will race it out himself. Connor Grace already with one here in this contest. Stays with it. He'll drop it back to Little. Little cross ice to McDonald. That was tipped momentarily by Lincoln McDonald. Here's Little into the middle. Shot. Tried to go back against the grain. Missed wide. Grace back up top. Little. Over for Grace. Grace back up top to Little. Top of the umbrella. Pass across looking for Cormier. Good stick from Bowen McNutt. On the net, Bowden. Able to get it back to the point. Cormier rink wide for Little. Grace and Little will switch spaces. Grace shot. Stick save is made by Grandy. He's without Lumber now. Back to point, Grace. Over. Little settles it down the right side. Shot, pad save made. The Bearcats are able to clear. Donald will give chase. He and Grace jockey for position. And McDonald's going to get a penalty here. So he takes one extra whack at Grace. Pass across. McDonald. Shoot. Save made by Grandy. 5-on-3 now for a full 2 minutes. Still 2:35 remaining in the spearing penalty. It's going to be a timeout called here. They didn't announce who took the timeout. I guess both teams really do have a case for it, as Bearcats can rest their penalty killers and Bombers coaches can draw up a 5-on-3 play, which looked like was the case. Full 2-minute 5-on-3 here for WearWell. Face-off though, won by Truro, not clear. Grace. Cross Cormier, down low. McDonald. Shot from a sharp angle is stopped. Grace. Shoots, save made once again. The rebound. Chipped wide by Bowden. Bombers still have it. Grace. Sends one to the middle. Double deflection, but it goes wide. Bowen McNutt will clear it down the ice. Between him and the goaltender, Chase Grandy, a couple huge plays on the PK so far in terms of saves and clearances. It's sent right back in by the Bombers. Cormier drives wide, cuts back. Back to Little covering the point. Grace looking to set up, has some rooms. Shot blocked once again by McNutt. 1:12 left in the penalty to McDonald. Grace looking through the middle. McNutt once again able to get in the way and clear it. Great shift from the Bearcat rookie. A minute left in the penalty to McDonald. A minute and a half left in the spearing double minor to McKenzie. No blood so far. McDonald drops it back. Ross. Pass across to Grace. Slows it down low to McDonald. McDonald in front. Bowden couldn't find a rebound. Save made by Grandy. Puck still loose. McDonald back to Whittemore at the point. Over for Grace. Grace shoots. And a save made by Grandy. He lets Bowden know about it in front of the net as well. 33 seconds left in the 5-on-3. 2:22 left in the period. Ross lines up against Scott. Pulled free by Truro. They can't clear though. Whittemore, good second chance effort by Lockyer. He's able to at least clear the zone. Ross brings it back in. Drops it off Swain. Swain. His shot's blocked, pulled free, and Sidney Scott will send it down the ice. 15 seconds left in the two-man advantage. Long pass ahead by Little. It's Elijah Little. Ahead to McIntosh. Now 5-on-4 for 34 seconds. McIntosh back. Ross able to settle it down. Ross. Shot. Glove save made by Grandy. Shots 23-11 in favor of the Bombers. Bearcats with a pair of quick goals to start this second period. And WearWell responding with 3 quick ones of their own to give them a 4-2 lead. Bombers will quickly get their top unit back on the ice for the remainder of this power play. Cormier over to Grace. Shoots, and a save once again made by Grandy. Lockyer in front, boxing Bowden out from his goaltender. 22 seconds left in the penalty. Ross up off the draw, pulled free. Cormier just out of his reach. He'll have to retreat to center. Miller will give chase. Here's Grace. Cuts to the middle. Grace settles down, shoots wide of the goal. Claw will collect, rims it around the wall. Not out. Grace. Point shot through traffic. Stop. Settled down by Little. Penalty is now over. We're back to 5 aside. It's going to be an icing call. 1:08 to go in this period. Not behind the net to Lockyer. Lockyer flips it ahead. Tipped. Unable to clear as we come to the last minute of play in the second period. Cross ice pass. Holman. He takes a bump from behind. A penalty is going to be called here against the Bombers. Whittemore caught his man in the numbers. Bearcats get a chance on the power play here to bring this game back within 1 in the last minute of the period. Face-off won, though, by the Bombers. Cormier, Scott able to hold the line momentarily, but it's pulled free. Here's Ryan Ross. Has a step. Ross in, shoot, save made by Grandy. Sent back down. The ice by the Bombers, and the Bearcats will have to break out once again. Excellent save by Chase Grandy. So Ross tried to open up the 5-hole. Here's Lincoln McDonald. Into the middle. Leaves it for Ripley. It's turned over again, and Ross will give chase. Ripley stays with him, knocks the stick out of his man's hands, and that'll do it for the power play. Cameron Ripley will go off for slashing. Cohen Little in to take the draw against Frizzle. 1-2 clean back, and it goes through Grace. Cormier's going to have to hurry. 7 seconds left in the period. Cormier drives wide. Wadden able to stay with him. Centers it. Little has to shoot into the middle. Grace shoots, and a good save by Grandy at the buzzer. The second period will come to an end. The Bombers lead 4-2. We'll step aside for the intermission. Be back here in about 15 minutes. Score after 2 periods here at the Rec. WearWell Bombers 4, Truro Bearcats 2. Welcome back inside the rec, third period of play in Nova Scotia under 15 major hockey league action between the WearWell Bombers and the hometown Truro Bearcats. Bombers lead 4-2 after 2 periods of play. We'll play 4 aside for the first minute and change. Shot by Cormier. Paddle stop made by Grandy. Finishing off the period with a couple big saves. He starts off the third with another one. He's been stellar tonight. The other end, Mason Gunn hasn't been as battle-tested, but still able to come up with a couple big saves on the Bearcats when he's needed to. That's sent the length of the ice. It'll be an icing call against the Bearcats. No hybrid icing in this league, just a no-touch, so despite McDonald being first to the race, still be called an icing. Face-off comes to the left of Grandy. 1:08 left to go in the penalty to the Bearcats. 20 seconds left the penalty to the Bombers, so they'll have an abbreviated power play. Upcoming, Ross up the wall. He'll give chase and collect it as he's being watched over by Frizzle. Frizzle has one of the 2 Bearcat goals here this afternoon. Ross gives chase, will chip it all the way back. Holman was coming off the bench. Takes a bump, gets it to the middle. Nice chip pass by Frizzle. Holman will drive wide. McDaniel got the hands up. Grabbed onto Holman, so he'll go to the box, and we're right back to 4-on-4. We're after 33 seconds. Ripley will step out of the box, and the Bearcats will get a power play of their own. Bearcats will be right back here tomorrow afternoon, 1 p.m. start against the Harbor Rage. And they'll be on the road next weekend. And catch all that action and all the action in the Nova Scotia Under 15 Major Hockey League live on High Button Sports. So that's offside called against the Bombers. Any hockey fix you need, pretty much in the Maritimes on High Button this weekend. U15, U16 action, as well as Under 18 Major Hockey League, and big event in Summerside, the Maritime Females Under 18 League, having their showcase out in Summerside this weekend. Catch all that action on High Button. So McDonald will step behind the net, and he'll just leave it there for his man. Ripley comes out of the box, and timed well by the Bombers. They'll send it the length of the ice. Bearcats to the power play for $1.20. Long pass ahead. Here's Holman. Watched by Jackson McDonald. Turned over. Elijah Little fans on his clearing attempt. It's swatted back in by Stanfield. Grace takes a peek behind him. Saw that he had room down the left side. He'll dump it the length of the ice. Lockyer. Pass it off for Scott. Rink wide over to Lincoln McDonald, the other goal scorer here. Back to the middle for Sidney Scott. Use his way in. He'll cut back. Sends it to the middle. Lockyer. Trying to weave by Cohen Little. Slowed up enough. He's knocked down by Little. It's pulled free by the Bombers. Cormier. Weaves in. Whistles one from well out. That went wide of the net. Bearcats will try to break out here with 20 seconds left in the penalty. Lockyer. Drink wide, Scott. Dump it in deep, and Truro will give chase. Chip up ahead, Clow will leave it for McDonald. McDonald, good pass over, but Scott had to lunge for it. We're back to even strength. Lockyer sends one on net. Deflected wide. Puck comes loose. Scores! It won't be a power play goal, but it doesn't matter for the Bearcats. Jacob Clow finishes it off on the doorstep. Makes it a 1-goal game once again. Still just under 17 minutes to work with for Truro. Face off one by the Bearcats. Lockyer ahead. McDonald will chip it in deep. Give chase. Little. Rimmed around. Chipped ahead. Here's McIntosh. Gains the line. Knocked off stride by Wadden. Kenzie was there as well. Chipped up by Lockyer. Deflected off a skate. Up and out of play. And with all the power plays this game, you can really see the difference in the two power play units. With the Bearcats, they try to elect for more of a slow and controlled breakout, and that's really helped Pictou County's aggressive penalty kill. For the the Bombers, they elect for a quick breakout. You'll see either Grace or Cormier try to wheel it out themselves and use those big frames and the good boots that they have to just wheel it out themselves and instead of electing to pass for the breakout. Keckren pinches in off the line, rims it down low. Miller couldn't find it in his skates, finds it once again. Miller back to the point, was looking for Rowan McEachran. Out of his reach, and it's picked up by McKenzie. McKenzie has Frazier on him, trying to wheel wide. He'll send it behind the net to McEachran. McEachran up ahead. Frizzle goes off the boards to Clough, most recent goal scorer. Drives wide on, trying to beat Matatal. Centers it. Cormier able to pull it free on his backhand. He'll support us forward, and he'll just take it back into his own end. Pass across Matatal. Chips it, that goes past the stick. Icing call against the Bombers. Faceoff comes back inside the WearWell zone to the left of Mason Gunn. Lockyer stepped into it. Goes right to Stanfield. His shot fanned on. Ross will pick it up. He'll flip it. That hits a stanchion. Bounces over a couple of sticks. Mick not able to hold the line. Matatal. Pass doesn't get through, and it's picked up by McNutt. McNutt, that hits a pair of shin pads, and it's picked up by Ross. Ross leaves it for Little. Back to the point. Cormier stepping in off line. Shot! Scores! Brett Cormier makes the water bottle jump. Puts it upstairs and restores the 2-goal cushion. It's 5-3. Ross able to force the turnover down low, and he left it there for Cohen Little. A quick pass back to the point. Cormier didn't have much coverage. He was able to walk in off the line, fire one over the shoulder. Donald. Centering pass, hit a skate. Reed up ahead for Little. Cohen Little. Lost it. Here's Scott. He's going to skate it out. Hands it off for McDonald. Return feed. Goes cross ice instead for Wadden. That hit his skate and was behind him. Picked back up by Little. Little cuts to the middle. Stays with it. Little. Fans on the shot. Kenzie stays on him. Bumps him into the end wall. Kenzie chops it out. Chipped by McDonald, but not beyond the blue line as it's kept in by the Bombers. That one just gets out. Here's Elijah Little. He'll go D to D to Grace. Grace will move in. Tried to go short side. Just missed. Miller up ahead. Bearcats unable to clear. Second chance. Miller does go rink wide. Here's Lincoln McDonald. Donald trying to weave inside out. Lost it. Chip back ahead. Bowden. On the left side, centers it. Swain from a sharp angle. Covered by Grandy. Just over 13 minutes to go here in the third period. Lockyer. Knife behind the net to McEachran. McEachran will rim it back around. Whittemore picks that up. Chips in off the point. Stays with it. He'll go rink wide for himself. It's picked up by Miller. Pass across. Frizzle in off the blue line. His shot saved by Gunn. He tried to replicate that goal back from the second period. Holman in to take the draw against Cohen Little. Pulled free, Little. Up the wall. Tried to chip it in the center. Comes back to him. Cormier couldn't find it. McIntosh does. Cuts to the middle. Just avoids a hit from Stanfield. Here's McIntosh. Nice move to stay with it. McIntosh in. Shot. Save made by Grandy. McIntosh that close to a highlight reel goal. Grandy with his 24th stop of the evening. Soft one back, Cormier gets it at the line. Off his back foot, his shot, that's deflected by McNutt. Scooped up by Grandy for the whistle once again. Back to the point, Cormier gets it. Elected to try to rim it down. McNutt finds it, but it's turned over. Donald ahead. It's chipped outside the line. Cormier will go D to D. Matatall gains a blue line. Will send one in on goal. That's punched away by Grandy. McNutt up the wall. Scott couldn't find it. Matatall circles all the way back to his own end. Good pass right on the tape of Cohen Little. He stays with it. Little couldn't find it. Chipped out by Truro. Grace able to stay with it and knock it down. Good play by him. Little. Pass ahead. Here's Ross. Ross trying to weave it around one man. Grace in off the point. His shot well wide of the goal. Chipped in the middle. Holman lost it. Kenzie will pinch up. As McKenzie gets the line, dumps it in deep as he needs a change. Ross will reverse it to Connor Grace. Grace held up, but he stays with it. And still has the puck. Connor Grace. In off the line. His shot wide of the goal. Ross battles on the wall. Pulled free by Merriweather. Lincoln McDonald just sends it way up. It gets by Grace, and Holman will give chase. Here's Mason Holman. Good stick by Grace to just knock it away, and it's covered up by Gunn. Scott will line up against Cohen Little for this offensive zone draw. One back by the Bearcats. Lockyer finds it in his feet. Swings it across, hit the backside of Ripley. Bombers able to get it out to center. Here's Little. Drives wide, Little stays with it. As he battles with Frizzle. Chopped out by Truro. That will be an icing. Some whistles coming in bunches here in this third period. Bombers still with a 5-3 lead, courtesy of the latest goal by Brett Cormier. Lockyer gets it off the draw, takes it around his own net. Long pass ahead, picked up by Frizzle, but McDaniel was able to stay with it. It was almost a perfect play. Now back the other way, an odd man rush. Bowden, pass it to the middle. Swain back to the middle for Bowden. Couldn't find it. Little got dumped in front. Pulled free. Long pass ahead, Bowden has to tag up. That'll give the Bearcats some time. McCackern back behind the goal line. Pass it off McNutt. Up to Scott. Scott. Pass it through. Frizzle has some room. Has another man with him. Frizzle. Shot. Save made by Gunn. Frizzle's taken hard into the end wall. Another save from Gunn, only his 13th of the contest. Keckren gets it. Elect to rim it all the way around to the near side. Stanfield takes a peek behind him. Bombers get a big check there by McDonald. He sends it back to the corner. Holman first on it. Underducks a check in front. Stanfield shot goes wide. Cormier chips it ahead. Cannot trying to fire it back in. Just gets it to the blue line. Here's Holman. Holman. Natatall trying to stay with him. McDonald there to support. It's pulled free. Here's Holman. Just pushed it too far ahead of him. Cormier. Pass across. McIntosh was going to change. Stanfield will send it in deep, and the Bearcats will give chase once again. Cormier up the wall. He gets it back. The near side this time, picked up by Jackson McDonald. Donald in the middle. Frazier settles it down. Couldn't get the shot through. Back the other way. McDonald. Lincoln McDonald. Drives wide. Good play by Little. Keeping the outside. Rink wide pass. Gets behind his man. And now here's Bowden off the bench. Kenzie will have to hurry. Bowden stays with it. Bodies him off the puck. Shot. Save made by Grandy. Good strength there from Bowden. The reverse check. He's able to get the shot away. Just over 8 to play. The draw, Bearcats get it to the line. Grace walks in the middle, shot punched away, rebounds there. Puck still loose. Grandy able to find it. He took a late whack, and he's not happy about it. Don't think anything's going to come from it. Grace in off the line, trying to knife it down low, lost it momentarily, but stays with it, cuts back and hands it off. Pass into the slot, that takes a deflection. Grandy will be forced to cover up again. Face off once again to the right of Chase Grandy. Pushing 30 saves in this one. That's point Cormier. Beat it in McDaniel. His shot through traffic makes its way through, but Grandy able to square it up and makes the save again. Scott rims it around. Lockyer will be first on it as he tries to chop it out to the blue line. Little. Hold it momentarily. Hops over the stick of Lockyer. Couldn't settle it down. He's just going to try to barrel his way through, but it's chipped back in by the Bombers. Merriweather rimmed around. Back to the point, McDaniel. Pass it off for Little. Little tried to go rink wide for Cormier. That hit Ripley's stick. Pinballs out to the neutral zone. Bombers get it back in deep. Not first on it. Trying to find it at his feet. Bearcats unable to clear. Merriweather up the wall. Lockyer. Chip it to the line. Grace able to keep it in for a moment. Merriweather goes up the wall. Grace back into his own zone to collect. Bad Little. Weaves his way in. Little. Cross ice to Elijah Little. Drops a shoulder into the center. Shot by Reed. Good save once again made by Grandy. Lincoln McDonald beats Jackson McDonald in that draw. Keckren up the wall, pinched in off the point. It's kept in by the Bombers once again. Some offensive zone time here for the visitors. Shot from the point through traffic, and Grandy once again makes a save. His 30th now of the contest. Donald and McDonald in the circle once again. Pulled free, Holman. Sent ahead, Stanfield will give chase. Sends one towards the net. Pushed aside by Gunn. Cleared away by the Bombers. Kenzie. Over to Merriweather, he lost it. It's McKeckren, excuse me, back to point, Elijah Little. D. Grace. His shot through traffic. Great glove save. Chase Grandy putting on a clinic here in this third period. Non-stop pressure here from the Bombers. The draw Matatall. Just rim it down low. Bowden will give chase. Around the wall, picked up by Whittemore. It's knocked off stride. It's cleared to the blue line. Matatall, shot blocked. Wadden. Head Frizzle. Chips it ahead for Miller. There's Hudson Miller. Miller tried to drop it off for Clough. Missed him. Pulled free by Cormier, but he takes a bump. Goes in front of the Zamboni doors. That takes a weird hop off the Zamboni doors. Pulled free, Frazier. Works his way in. Frazier. And nice toe drag move. Shot save made by Grandy. At the point, Cormier. Shot. Fanned on, but he stays with it. Shot off a post by Bowden. Cleared to the line, but not out. Good block by Clough. That stung him. He stays with it and gets it out to the neutral zone. Frazier over Matatall. Just send one in on goals. That's patted aside. Cleared by Truro. Sidney Scott. And give chase. Under 5 to play here in this one. Scott takes a hard bump. Tried to stay with it, but Little will pick it up. Little. Being watched by Lockyer. Lockyer able to chop it away from him. Swain able to force another turnover. It goes to the point. McDaniel will let one go from the point. Puck still there. It's still loose. Cleared out of harm's way. Chip down deep. Kenzie first on it. Goes by the net to his defense partner, Peter Merriweather. Chopped ahead, but Grace able to hold it in. Lockyer. Couple nice moves, but he loses it. It's chipped back in. by the Bombers. So look to sustain this pressure to the final buzzer. Grace chipped it ahead. Lockyer pinned against the boards. Pulled free by Little. Knocked off his stick as Lockyer gets back in the play. Ross will elect to just send it in deep. Lockyer. Chipped back in by Grace. Merriweather, long pass ahead. That's going to miss everybody, and that'll be an icing call with just over 3 minutes to play in this hockey game. Truro's going to take their time out here. As mentioned, Truro will be back in action tomorrow afternoon at 1 against the Harbor Rage. You can catch that here on High Button Sports as well. Bombers will play tomorrow at 11 a.m. at home in Pictou County against the Novas, a battle of two of the top teams in the league so far. And with 3:18 left to play, 40 shots now for the Bombers. Chase Grandy, despite being down, has stood tall. Lockyer around the wall, Merriweather ahead. That's going to be on net. Gunn will be forced to cover up. Rimmed around the wall. Reed will stay with it. Knifes it ahead to Jackson McDonald. Donald weaves his way through, but a good stick from McNutt. He's been excellent defensively for Truro in this contest. Front of the bench, Stanfield. He's hit hard by McIntosh, and a penalty upcoming. Head contact call against Clayton McIntosh. Two minutes for head contact against McIntosh. Grandy's on the bench now, so it'll be a 6-on-4. So the net is empty down at the Truro side. Cleared down the ice. Ross is going to give chase against Lockyer. Ross bumps his man. It's picked up by Scott. Cross ice pass. Here's Lincoln McDonald. McDonald look at trying to drive wide. Good play by Grace to keep him to the outside without taking a penalty. Clough. Back to the point. Frizzle. Back down to Clough. Clough couldn't find it. Grace will rim it around the wall. Diving play by McDonald to keep it in, but it's kept in by Lockyer. Donald cross ice pass picked up and picked off by Grace towards the empty net, and he scores. Connor Grace, his second of the game. 10th goal of the season for the assistant captain. 6'3" short-handed empty netter. Should put this one out of reach. dead. It goes past Swain. McKenzie weaves his way in. Lex McKenzie on his backhand. Couldn't get the shot 3. And McKenzie hit hard. And he's down. Matitol took him hard into the end wall. Kenzie back up to his feet, which is good. Does it look like he took the brunt of it on his shoulder? That's what he's holding. Swain's going to go to serve, and it's going to be another game misconduct. 5 minutes for checking from behind against Matitol. Faceoff will come to the left of Gunn. 5-on-3, turned over. Jackson McDonald send it down the ice. McDonald, pick it up. Under a minute and a half left in this one. McDonald. And Overline drops it off, and it's turned over back the other way. Here's Jackson McDonald racing in. Lockyer stays with him. Good play to stay with it. McDonald chips it by his man. He is willing just to kill some clock. Sent down the ice. Long stretch pass ahead. It's tipped. One penalty now over as Gunn will send it ahead. McIntosh out of the box. Now 5-on-4. Cleared to the line. Just kept in by Cormier. Will send it down the ice himself. Under 30 seconds of play here in this one. Scott chips it ahead. Little. And just wind it down the ice. Long pass ahead, Ripley. Ripley waits for some support. Good stick by McIntosh. Sent back in by Scott, and that'll do it. WearWell Bombers move to 7-1-1 on the year with a 6-3 victory over the Truro Bearcats. Final shots 41-18. Randy made 35 stops in the losing effort. That will do it for this one. You can catch us right back here at the Rec tomorrow when the Bearcats host the Harbor Rage. Final score from here at the Rec. WearWell Bombers 6, Truro Bearcats 3. Thanks for tuning in on High Button Sports. Have a good night.